I'm saving myself to talk about this subject because I believe that it's more about being about it rather than talking about it. You are here because I consider you not only my friend, but someone who is a person that embodies that masculinity that I'm talking about, you know? Let's talk about your perception when it comes to being a man. Being a man, to me, is not being too emotional, you know? And I know it's hard, at least for me, because, you know, growing up without a father, and I grew up with my mom and just pure women, I had a hard time realizing that us men, like, we're not really supposed to be that emotional. I mean, like, we have emotions, right? It's fucking normal to have emotions. We get angry, we get sad. But if you get too wrapped up into that, you get lost a little bit on the true essence of masculinity, which is, I think, more logical and action-driven rather than feeling, you know what I'm saying? But that's my perspective, bro.
I get what you're saying. I'm gonna have to counter it a little bit. First of all, I appreciate what you said. Like, thank you for having me here, and that means a lot to me, brother. Because that's why I'm here. Because I wouldn't be here if I didn't trust you or know that you're a real motherfucker. Because you are. But as far as the emotion goes, I'm gonna have to counter that a little bit because I did have a dad growing up.
Okay.
And I love my dad very much. But he did things a lot differently than how I want to raise my son. Because, you know, we're both dads.
Yeah.
And being a dad is the ultimate test to your manhood. Because it's very difficult. It's the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. I think it's the hardest thing you've done in your life. But I think emotion is necessary. With my dad, we weren't allowed to show emotion. And he very much constricted our ability to show our emotion because it was very discouraged to show emotion. Whenever you were feeling a way, we couldn't talk about it. We weren't allowed to, and if we did, we were called names because of it. So I think there's a fine balance that you have to find because we're men, and it does require a certain amount of stoicism, especially when situations get tough. You don't want to be emotional, and that's where I agree with you, because you do have to reserve the emotions and think logically through a problem to get to a solution, which is what you were saying, I think. But I also think that it's very important to acknowledge your emotions and say, I feel this way. Well, why do I feel this way? I feel this way because blank, and that's what you have to get through. But use the stoic side to solve how you're getting through.
We are very much like that, right? Like, we're solution-based creatures, right?
Yeah.
Even if we deal with emotions, like, okay, what does this mean? How can I deal with it? How can I fix it? You know, that's funny. But do you think, or do you agree with my belief that we're living in a society that is lacking more masculinity, true masculinity, not what we consider to be masculine, whatever, you know, like the stereotypes, but do you think we're lacking a little bit of that?
Oh, dude, absolutely, brother. Absolutely. We live in this society where they don't think there are any rules, right? Oh, they think there are no rules. And that is a problem because there are certain rules. I mean, you know all about rules, especially when you teach about fashion and image. There's certain rules that apply.
Of course.
And I think that we're entering a society where they feel like there are no rules. And that's an incorrect school of thought, especially to a whole society.
It's a very open question and it's kind of hard to answer it in a very small video, but what is your belief of what it means to be a man?
Yeah, that's a loaded question. And we could be here all night talking about it, Pablo. Shit.
Which we do anyway. We have these conversations on our own.
We've had this conversation a lot. To me, if I'm going to break it down in very simple terms, to where it's just at the core of its simplicity, I think that being a man is doing what you say and saying what you do.
Okay.
And that's simple, you know.
Yeah.
If you say you're going to do this, do it. If you're not going to do it, don't say you're going to do it, or just say, acknowledge, I'm not going to do this, and follow through with that. What does it mean to you? Can I counter that question?
Yeah. The same, and I actually just did a video recently talking about that specifically. I believe that being a man, one of the strongest things to call yourself a man is being responsible for the actions or non-actions that you take. You're gonna say you do something, you're gonna do it, and you become responsible for taking that action. Or if you don't do it, you take full responsibility of not taking that action. Because I believe, not only in society, but mostly young men, they don't know, or either don't know, or not being taught by design, like we sometimes talk, that it's always their fault, his fault, her fault, God's fault, society's fault,
the system's fault,
the system's fault, whatever. And I don't think that's being a man. I mean, there's a lot of problems out there in the world, but to me, a man is like, okay, let me look at myself, let me see what I can do with me to fix this situation locally at least, and then we'll take it from there. I mean, yeah, can I help the world? For sure, fuck it, let's do it. But let me do something here right now and not blame others like, oh, nah, I don't have the life that I want because of blah, 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 right? So yeah, kind of like that. It's also like keeping your word. That is super crucial. And it's rare to find, bro. Rare to find a bunch of motherfuckers out there saying, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Man, you ain't gonna do shit. You know damn well you ain't gonna do shit. In business, friendship, relationships, right? It's fucking rare to find. And it's so simple. So just keep your word. It's so simple, right?
Yeah. And I want to add to what you said about like people want to change the world. The best way to start to change the world is by changing yourself.
There you go.
And it starts in your house. It starts with yourself as a father. You gotta lead by example, especially when you have children. And I know you know what I'm talking about, brother.
Damn, do I know about that? I think we can make another video about that because definitely want to go dive deeper into that. And the ultimate, you said it, the ultimate test of being a man is becoming a father. That'll change your whole fucking world. Those watching us, you know what we're talking about. And I mean, if anything, I've become a way better man, person overall by having my daughter. And I know you are a better man and a person because you have a kid, right?
Absolutely, brother.
But, dude, I appreciate you being here. You're my friend, and
thanks for having me, man.